Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be looking at the Studio Series 86 movie Deluxe Class Arcee figure. So what we're going to do with this video, we're going to unbox her live in a second, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. We're then going to have a detailed look at her in both of her modes to help you decide how you want to display her. We can then do some comparisons with her and some other Arcee figures that have been released down the Generations toy line. Then, of course, we can see how she displays and looks with some of the other figures in exactly the same toy line, because she should scale really well with all of these. So there we go. As I start to put these figures back, I'd just like to remind everybody, if they're not subscribed to this channel, if they'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now, please, because it really will help me out. Also, a couple of things before we open it up. I want to have a look at the lovely artwork on the box, which looks absolutely stunning. So we've got pretty much the whole upper body of her there. There she is, all tucked away inside the box. We've then got the bust of her and the head there. We can see that she's Studio Series 86, number 16 already. Wow. And there is a full-length image of her on the side. It's also going to take 18 steps to transform her, so this should be quite interesting. And without further ado, let's get her out of the box. And at this particular time, I'd like to thank Robot Recruits, and that's the online UK shop that I purchased this from. And as you can see, they sent her to me nice and safely. So let's take her out of here. She's got a proper backdrop this time, and what I mean by that is the more recent reviews I've done of the core class figures obviously don't have the proper backdrops. There we go, Autobot City under attack, looking great. We've got the instructions in the safety part, and we've got her in there with her blaster. So what I need to do now is set her free from there, come right back to you with some first impressions. So here she is then, out of the packaging, and it's time to do some first impressions. And straight off the bat, she does look fantastic. She really is. Pretty much, you know, it's obvious what I'm about to say, and it does sound silly saying it out loud. She's exactly what you want her to be. She's exactly like she looked in the Transformers 1986 movie. She looks really good. The head sculpt is brilliant. There's nice detail on it. You can see we've even got the nose. Obviously, we've got the painted lips and the eyes. Lovely tamper-graphed Autobot logo on the front there. And I suppose what's best about this is there's not a huge amount of kibble. Now obviously there's quite a bit there, but nowhere near, nothing at all like what we had with the Earthrise and indeed the Kingdom one. Now I know you could take the back bit off and it could be like a hoverboard for her, but even then it's, I don't think, as sleek as this. So it's nice that it's not just a straight up redeco of the Earthrise one. It is a heavy retool of, funnily enough, the Thrilling 30 version. The upper body's very similar, but it's completely different at the bottom. But we'll do some more in-depth comparisons with them later on. So we've had a look at the head sculpt. It's brilliant. It's on a ball and socket, so there's full articulation up, down and around. You can see there's ball and sockets on the shoulders. It also swivels at the bicep, flexes at the bicep. There is no wrist swivel, unfortunately. There is a waist swivel. The hips are giant ball and sockets as well, so full range of motion to the side, forward, up and down. Knee bend, ankle tilt and full rock. So again, as you'd expect, full articulation in these newer deluxe figures. And as I say, this isn't too bad at all. Lovely bit of translucent plastic there. And I'm going to jinx myself now. Oh no, I'm not. I was going to see, even though I'm working on carpet, not even fully flat surfaces, she stands, you know, with ease. She hasn't got to worry about it being top heavy at the back and it falling over. The weight is distributed really well. She comes with this lovely little blaster. Funny enough, this looks very familiar as well. It is. It's a recolor of the Thrilling 30 version, and yeah, just nice and simple. I suppose she doesn't need anything else. Instructions are there, and then we've actually got a decent backdrop there of the battle on Autobot City. So what we're going to do now then, we're going to come back, have a quick look at her alternate mode before coming back for the final time with a backing robot to see how she displays and compares with some other figures. Right, we're back, and she's in her incredibly good looking, actually, alternate mode. This is very, very good. A couple of quick apologies for no transformation process on this video. One is to keep the main length of the video down, and two is not to spoil it for people who don't want it spoiled. This is a new figure, and I imagine lots of people will be interested in purchasing this, and they want to experience that transformation process for themselves. However, if you do want to see it, it will be uploaded separately. Now, as you can see, it's nice and sleek. It does look very good. Lovely little bit of a spoiler top part there. Headlights aren't coloured in, they're all just plain white, but again, it looks good. Wheels, of course, all rotate, no problem, not getting caught anywhere at all. And if we spin it upside down, it's not too bad. I mean, of course, it's a little bit of a shell former. We can obviously tell that these are the legs, and indeed the arms are tucked under there, but I think this is definitely, in honesty, my favourite Arcee figure so far that we've had. I think it just looks good and works really well. There's a bit of moulding detail there on the seats, and indeed it looks like perhaps a little bit of a steering wheel there maybe, but as you can see, you know, there's not too many join lines, and again, it just looks good. If you wanted to, there is a slot there where you can take the gun and you can store it underneath whilst in this particular mode. And indeed, of course, it'll actually go well with that display there that she's escaping the blast from there. It again, I think it's really good. It does scale well with the little core class figures that we've got obviously here. You can imagine that if he wasn't in his suit, he probably would fit inside there, no problem whatsoever. And again, with Hot Rod just to the side of her there. But there, you know, there's not really much more to say apart from it is good. And yeah, it's cartoon accurate. And again, that's exactly what they're going for. It did take 18 steps, and it wasn't too difficult. If you do want to see it, it will be separately uploaded. But for now, that's enough of looking at her in alternate mode. We're going to come back, and she's going to be in a robot mode for the final time for some display ideas and comparisons. Okay then, back for the final time with her in a robot mode, and let's see how she looks and displays first and foremost with her gun accessory. Now, you've actually got a choice. You don't have to put it in her hand because she's got some 5mm ports on the side of her thighs. You can, if you want, just holster it either side of her thighs, so she doesn't even have to hold it. It will rest, in fact, not just rest, it'll hold and tab in really well. It won't fall out, no danger of that whatsoever. But of course, you can pose it in her hand, and again, it does look great. I think she looks, yeah, definitely, I've already said it once, I keep saying it, she's definitely my favorite version of her. With regards to how she looks compared to, as I say, this is what she's had a bit of an extensive retool of, so obviously there's far more accessories with this particular version. And this one, I mean, I can take the back kibble off, but for now I'm just going to keep it there so we can see them all. So it's interesting to look at them all like that, to be fair, because there is, you know, subtle little differences on them all. Obviously the kibble on the back is, I suppose, the most interesting. Now this is where they're all going to fall over, I would imagine. No, that's okay. As I say, it's not too bad. I think it's actually even a little bit less than the Thrilling 30, to be honest. I think they've made it that little bit sleeker, it looks like they have. And of course, we know we can take this off. I'm not going to actually, because it's a right game to get it back on. But there they are from all side profiles, and again, she looks good, doesn't she? With regards to head sculpts as well, let's have a look. Yeah, this one's definitely the best compared to the Earthrise one. And with regards to this, even though this is, of course, more based on her IDW appearance, again, just very quickly, we can pop her in here, looking, excuse the glare, looking good. But of course, she's going to display, I don't really use these displays, to be honest, I really don't. I just think I've got the space for them, and a lot of them, you're quite inhibited to what you can put on, because obviously if you want to do a really good display, you need a load of figures, and with that, I can't get enough on. So, right, what am I doing now? I told you I jinxed myself and that she wouldn't stand up eventually. Let's straighten her legs out, like so. That's better. So, let's see how she compares. That's an awful glare with some of the rest of the Studio Series 86 cast then. So, she's in full, yeah, she's well and truly, as I say, on size comparison with the Deluxe. I know he's obviously a Voyager, but again, she works really well with that size. I'm going to bring Spike again there, and indeed I'm going to bring wheelie to the front. To be honest, I've got Grimlock still here as well, so let's put him behind her. I do have Core Class Ratchet, but like I said in the Core Class Ratchet video, he's a great figure. He looks good, but I don't know why they brought him out as part of Studio Series 86. They should have just brought him out as a normal core class in Legacy, because of course he is not in scale with the rest of them. But there you go. I'm sure he'll agree. She looks good. She fits the part perfectly there. And indeed, she's definitely worth a pick up if you don't have an Arcee already. Is she different enough than the more recent versions that we've had? Transformation process, yes, definitely. And I suppose I would again have to say that I think she displays a lot better as well. But the decision's up to yourself, because it is obviously 3 Arcees in 3 different packages, even though the 2 of them were the same, just in different packaging in the last 3 years. But this is my opinion. I think she's the best. Let me know what you think of her in the comments, and of course, take care.